Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alyssa Corum and Ken Shreve here, and on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at the charts of PayPal, Fortinet, and Twilio. Some strong action there, but first, let's take a look at the major indexes. So here's a chart of the Nasdaq, a very strong day across the board, but especially for the tech-heavy index, which even crossed that 9,000 mark intraday today, Ken. So this rally is just forging right ahead, full steam.
Yeah, I think the Nasdaq actually went as high as 9,015, so it did creep over this 9,000 level, which we call a round number. Sometimes round numbers like this can serve as resistance. It's been such a powerful rally for the Nasdaq. I wouldn't be surprised to see it maybe pull back a little bit around this level. You can see it cross 9,000, and it definitely backed off highs. But another day of great earnings reports. Didn't seem that long ago when we were really worried about the quality of first quarter earnings, but it's been a pretty darn good earnings season so far.
Yeah, that it has. So let's take a look at some notable movers, starting with PayPal, the ticker there, PYPL. We've been taking a look at this stock before the earnings report because it is forming a nice base here and a breakout, and it's just extending those gains on the quarterly earnings report, up over 13% today in heavy volume. So a nice earnings fueled breakaway gap here.
Yeah, no doubt. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, it topped a 124.55 buy point, but a very bullish gap up for the stock today. A bit counterintuitive because PayPal did miss on sales, but the company had some pretty positive things. It was a very tough March for PayPal, but they said in trends seem to be improving quite a bit for April. They also said that May 1st was their highest volume transaction day ever. So as the U.S. economy starts to slowly reopen, there are some stocks out there that could be benefactors. In fact, a lot of stocks that will be benefactors, but PayPal would certainly be one of them.
That's definitely true. And moving on to Fortinet, also a big mover on earnings out of the security software industry group, gaining over 21% today. And a little bit of a similar story here. We did have a base forming heading into this report, although that initial breakout was pretty tricky there. But nonetheless, a big move to new highs today for Fortinet.
Yeah, you can see on this Market Smith chart a 30% increase in quarterly profit, revenue up 22% to 576.9 million. This was obviously a very strong earnings report. This is another beneficiary of the work from home movement brought about by the coronavirus outbreak. A lot of employees are using VPN to log into their corporate networks, and this is one of Fortinet's specialties, providing VPN security. So they've seen pretty strong demand during this outbreak, and just another classic example of a technical breakout here.
Yes, and it was our stock of the day today, so definitely make sure you check that article out for even more details. And last but not least, another software stock we want to take a look at, and that is Twilio, which quite frankly had fallen off of our radar, wasn't really looking that great before the crash, and then just saw some deep losses during that sell-off, but it's now made its way back here and just exploding higher on this quarterly report, Ken, up about 40%, a huge move today.
Yeah, no doubt. And I should mention that we did have a pretty extensive coverage of Twilio's earnings report and Fortinet. So you can go to the homepage of investors.com. Reinhard Krauss, our tech writer, did a great job with both of those reports. But Twilio is, another technical breakout here. This is a company that provides basically a cloud communications platform, definitely seeing strong demand during the virus outbreak. They actually gave pretty bullish sales guidance. Earnings and sales were nicely ahead of expectations, but looking out into the second quarter, they forecast sales of 365 to 370 million, and that was pretty far above what analysts were expecting, around 337. So anytime you get a bullish sales outlook, that's going to bring buyers into the stock. So great earnings from Twilio as well. And we've been talking about the software stocks stocks. They've been on fire for a while. We continue to see great earnings reports in the enterprise software group.
Yeah, that's right. And bullish guidance, especially in the current environment that we're seeing, definitely notable. And that's it for today. But make sure to tune in tomorrow morning to IBD Live, where the conversation will continue. You can catch that at investors.com/IBD Live. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.